Hello and welcome to the attempt of making an educational guide for Legends of Runeterra and for the Power of Champions game mode. My biggest problem with educational guides so far is that you can't reset your level progression. So you can't just say I want to play Teemo as level 5 again to showcase how you can do level 5 runs or whatsoever. For example, I couldn't really do a good Twisted Fate run because at level 20 everybody beats everything with Twisted Fate. So you basically would have to start a new account. In a new account you wouldn't have your boards, you wouldn't have your prismatics. So that's historically been my big problem with Power of Champions. And I will still give it a try. And I want to start with the Ezreal level because Karma seems to be one of the biggest problems for people in Power of Champions alongside Nautilus. But I want to start with a run that I know I can beat. And I think I've lost to Karma once before. And yeah, the only champions I don't have, I have around level 5 are Lee Sin and Zed. The other ones are either pretty low or pretty high already, as you can see. So I'm just going to go with Lee Sin here. Zed is pretty easy. I have beaten the Lab of Legends or Power of Champions with Zed before on the other account. But he's pretty easy, so I don't think you have a lot of struggle with it. Instead I'm going to go for Lee Sin. And if we look at his deck, he starts off with a surprisingly low amount of spells. Lee Sin has the double ability, he first gets Challenger, then Barrier, and once you've cast 8 spells he levels up, and then he has this skill that's called Dragon's Rage, and then he basically strikes the enemy and the enemy nexus, and he flips into a Sonic Wave, gives Challenger, and then second spell, Resonating Strike, great for activating Lee Sin. And we also have this card in our deck. Otherwise we have like a random 1 drop, random 2 drop, Indisciplines, which is probably the best Ionia spell, Gale Snapper, Gaze of the Dragon, just a generally decent card, gives our Lee Sin stuff, and Swole Scroll, double my power. So a bunch of like medium units that don't really do anything. Mentor, Lookout, Snapper, Squirrel, and you also have Deep Meditation, drawing us 2 spells. My big goal for Karma is always to draft a more late game oriented deck. Usually you want to rush down your opponents, but with Karma you want to be prepared. And we don't have any relic items yet from the, if you never played Power of Champions or something. The progression system works. How do you even open that part? Here maybe? Can't like... Can you not like show the progression on the champion somehow? Maybe we have to go back. Oh, that's the menu. So how do we show? Oh, new adventure, relic items, deck. Ah, there we are. So basically the progression is the same for everyone. Some get +1/+1, others get +2/0, others get +0/2, and then you have this slot for relics, and later on in the starting power, in starting power your first spell each round refills to spell mana, and then the second starting power is basically always you win the game. Your first spell each round refills to spell mana and draws 1, so that would be really good, and the rest is always the same. You get like the extra mana gem in the end, the rare slot, revives, rerolls, and other random stuff along the way. For our Lee Sin, we attempt him immediately when we can, I think. Around level 5, and you have the started letter at the beginning, the +1/+1, coins, the rerolls, and the random starting item. Let's just go for the adventure. The Ezreal has the Mutator I Never Miss, which at game start creates a Mystic Shot in the foe's hand. So everybody will be starting with a Mystic Shot, which is quite annoying for some of the smaller champions, like Teemo for example, but not that terrible. And once we go into this draft now, we want to have our goal in mind. If you go to the right side, you can immediately see Karma. And Karma has to be the person you have to beat. And Ezreal is usually pretty easy. And you see on the screen now the deck list of Karma. And as you can see, we have some denies, or one deny, and some random spells, a lot of Eye of the Dragon, but you have to be a little bit prepared to kill Karma, otherwise the Aurora Borealis will get out of hand. That's what we are going to aim for. The later boss of this stage is Ezreal, and he has the epic name of this ability name. That's basically the Path of Champions looks like it in the moment a little bit. Some bugs are just around for a long time. And yeah, Ezreal's deck, as you can see on the screen, has only 3 spells, has a very powerful ability of these static shocks and 2-shot barrages. And generally I try to avoid Ezreal level up by just not playing many units at the beginning of the game and then just overwhelming my opponent. In general, my favorite strategy with Path of Champions is just building super champions, or superheroes I call them. I will just stack a lot of items on one card and then run the opponent over with that single card. So no starting power for us. Let's see what we get here. We have like 2 rerolls and we've got a new power. Now, when you target an ally with a single target spell, copy it on your weakest ally. Also have damage, grant +1/+1, or when allies attack, nab 1. I'm usually a big fan of the nab 1, but the single target spell is actually pretty interesting because copying, as far as I remember, counts for Lee Sin and for the spells cast. And I kind of want to try it out. The endurance would just be generally good, same with Sticky Fingers, just makes you not run out of cards. I really like this power actually. I think I've never, or almost never played with Share the Bounty because it's just such a rare power to encounter. So let's just see if we can make this one work. I think there are many viable strategies to beat the levels. Basically also to go down the bottom route because this power, or this one, I can't remember, are always a power, so an extra ability. And we head into the Hexcore Foundry battle. Hexcore Foundry has a bunch of removal spells, or it's Hexcore Observatory, and it has a bunch of removal spells that it can cast for free and a little bit of value, so you have to kill it eventually. And here we are in the Hexcore Observatory fight. I am going to keep Lee Sin, probably, not really sure. I kinda want my Inspiring Mentors as well. Let's keep Lee Sin for now. I'm going to generally have to have a late game strategy against this person. You can just rush him down. A random item gives us a Oracle Lens on Sonic Wave with the predict power. I start with 1 less mana crystal here. On turn 1 they usually play a Forged Chief. And the big problem on my power, when you target an ally with a single target spell, is also that you have to have 2 allies on the board. But with the cost of my most expensive ally, that would be a Lee Sin. And he will just Mystic Shot me anyways next turn, so it's better to attack here.
Not on my work site, bub.
The spell mana back, we get a reduction. Fortunately we didn't draw any like Gale Snappers, that will draw you.
Remember,
Forged Chief. Comes the Mystic Shot, refills the spell mana because of the Hexcore Observatory. And we take our first 3 points of damage. That's a little bit of an unfortunate opening. They only have, as you saw, a bunch of small units in the deck, so taking 4 damage here early on is definitely not how it's intended to go. And I'm just going to go run out my Lee Sin here. I cannot Vermigenic Beam. It just threw all 3 Forged Chiefs this time. It's a little bit annoying. I'm just going to hold off for now. I'm going to take some damage here. Isn't great. There wasn't really anything we could just open attacks. What is this Mystic Shot? Just
act free of doubt.
Mystic Shot my Nexus. Nice AI. Okay, Soul Scroll comes out. This life total doesn't really matter, you have to find healing anyways. Now we can start doing something with our power, a little bit late. But I'm actually going to run out my Scale Snapper here first, because it's a very good attacker. I'll probably going to Vermigenic Beam, or just Progress Day, okay. It's generated by the Pharaoh's Financier, manifest a 6-cost spell. What we can do now is just take out all of the units basically. Here we can go Sonic Wave on you, this will be copied. And we get 2 predicts, the first one doesn't matter. Second one gives us a Disciplines. And this does count for 2 spells cast, which is pretty awesome. And let's take out the opponent's board. Could actually just flip Lee Sin. Not quite, I think. It's 2. Oh yeah, we can just flip Lee Sin. Let's just do that then. And yeah, doesn't matter. We'll shuffle 2 Lee Sins into our deck now because of the power we have. Because each separate copy has the Lee Sin copy ability. Now we just go for the resonating strikes.
As the dragon wills.
Don't think we have lethal quite yet, but it's really close. 2 damage off, fortunately.
Prepare yourself.
Still get to kill the whole board and are in a fine spot afterwards. I have like a Mystic Shot here, which doesn't really matter. And next turn we just, because Lee Sin is now phantom blocked, we strike the blocker but he's still blocked so he doesn't strike. And now we can just basically kill them next turn. We just play a random guy, play our Sonic Wave, filling our mana, Sin on top, all the predicts happening. And because of the barrier, our Lee Sin
I will not hold
will
back.
not be able to be struck. They don't have any Mystic Shots left because they used their 2 they have in the deck. And we don't need to play any more spells. Let's just end this right here, right now. Save a little bit of time. There's no healing in our deck, so we don't have any reason to like stall out, for example. I'm just going to go for the kill here. And animations happening.
Center your spirit.
This is the first opponent down. As for our secondary picks, I always try to look for healing first. Victor is healing, it's low healing, but he is still healing. Doesn't count as targeting. We go for Memory's Cloak, but best thing it counters is like an Ezreal spell. That's actually not terrible. Doesn't like draw a card, for example, and it's not really worth 3 mana for 1 mana. And we're going for the champion. Victor's really good with keywords as well, so you can load him up. And Closer Dragon would be fine, but just go for the Victor, and Victor can roll lifesteal. And as our reinforcements, I also want to look for some lifesteal, and this is just perfect. We see Aurelian Soul showing up, 10 mana Space Dragon that gives you these Celestials, a Star Shaping which just heals you and gives you big cards, and the Fangs. This is just the perfect card to show up. Now you always want to go the bottom route for the power, and we in the middle we have like the Adaptotron giving you random turrets. But let's just go for the Eye of the Dragon. And as you can see here, Eye of the Dragon is a little bit of random cards and a very strong power with the Dragon Links. As long as you have some way to regain your life, as we have now with our Aurelian Soul, then we will have no problem at all. And I will just look for more early game here for my blockers. It's very important to have blockers in the Eye of the Dragon matchup because it just rushes down with a random 3 runs oftentimes. And yeah, we have our lifesteal guy now. Here's the sparring student, taking us down to 19. Thanks to Aurelian Soul, thanks, we can just heal up later on. This is generally the strategy if you really want to win. You don't want to just win, you actually want to sit around and wait until you heal back your life total. And oh yeah, they usually never do that, just Mystic Shot my Nexus. It's so weird. Go for the Scale Snapper and take out one of the sparring students. And again, this life total doesn't matter at all. You can fine taking damage as long as you have a way to regain that life later on. So let's just go for the Victor this turn. Start getting our augment going, our spells for Lee Sin. Okay, Pawn does random stuff, summoning Dragon Links,
My
and
family
a
is
Coastal
raised on
Defender.
this soil.
Let's see what we roll with Victor. A Scout. That's not really that useful because they have a ephemeral unit, so no need to attack here. Next time we can run out our Fangs, our Scales of the Dragon, our Lee Sin even.
We owe this land our lives.
I think I'm just going for the Lee Sin because of Spell Shield.
Master yourself. Master
And
your
this is
enemy.
a lot of damage, so let's take this out, let's take this out, let's block this.
Act
Don't have
free
any
of
one
thought.
cost spells, so actually no need to act here. And I'm doing like taking it so that every of the unit survives and just go for the Hexcore upgrade here. Have to be a little bit wary, build up Big Victor, now he has Spell Shield, but still I can have the one of Singular Will, so that would be a little bit annoying. Start off with the Hexcore upgrade again, let's see what we roll. And we have Impact, doesn't really do that much. Meditation gets played from our opponent, no more response is possible for them, and yeah, we can just like flip Lee Sin again and win. Quite win yet, but a lot of damage. Actually like playing the Fangs first though, just giving some lifesteal. Wound Glow is pretty good with our champions. And I'm not really in a rush. And now our Lee Sin Spell Shield. This will be copied, so we can actually get a Challenger challenge.
My land
And yeah, let's
Prepare
take out
yourself.
the bigger guy. This person never has found a way into expeditions. Pretty sad. Would have been pretty cool. But this we have him here in Path of Champions.
My family was
And
raised on
yeah, I'm not really afraid of this deck at all. Let's just go the next upgrade. And you always have to check your opponent's deck total because you have to still heal up. And I will just play my Scales of the Dragon now. And then heal up my Victor. Copied on my lifesteal guy. This also transforms my Lee Sin.
I fight
Levels
with
him
the
up.
Dragon's fury.
So he has barrier, so I should hunt him, not attack. Still attacks this time, but with the small guy, this allows us to get some lifesteal in. We want to keep this unit around, because it's our one of our main ways to gain life. Basically never want to end a fight at less than full life total. So, Hexcore upgrade again. Good start of the turn. This levels up our Victor. We have to adapt our board afterwards. Break our Spell Shield, which is fine. And quick attack now we can quick attack challenge. Double stun. A little bit over the top AI, but fine. Let's just go for the Swole Squirrel, then start chaining our Sonic Waves. And our whole board will basically end up having challenge anyways. Not really impactful which card we take. Let's take the Victor on top. And Victor on top again. Shuffle some more cards into our deck. And this Victor allows us to make our Resonating Strikes 0 mana. Now we can just you challenge the big guy, you challenge whatever, and we can then buff up our Lee Sin, buff up our small guy, and this way we gain 1 of life total back. Up to 20, 24 in our hand. Run out our Inspiring Mentor and a Radiant Soul. Doesn't really matter, but Iron wouldn't do. Makes it faster to pass. And yeah, Hexcore upgrade coming in for 0 mana now. Victor's Death Ray. Deep Meditation number 2. And in comes the attack. What's a little bit annoying is that they can actually use their Singular Will next turn. And a lead and follow comes out. Go for the Hexcore upgrade. see if we can roll lifesteal. No lifesteal again. Now I will just go for the star shaping, spend my mana. Living Legends can give you the healing champion for the healing card. Now Death Ray. And main reason is to just shuffle more cards into our deck and get our Hemmed empty. Main reason I will cast this because I want to just play Living Legends next turn. No need to play these spells, just do nothing. And can go for a singular will here, but I don't really care about that. We still have our Lee Sin then, and instead go for a second lead and follow. Here comes the Dragon's Rage instead. Annoying. And funnily enough, this is the Dragoning has Ephemeral, so on the first strike it actually dies. We can just save our victor here. And as you can see, normally it strikes twice, but thanks to the Ephemeral it dies on the first strike, which is a pretty funny interaction. And then we can go for the Living Legends, refilling our spell mana, looking for those Golden Sisters. We didn't find them, unfortunately. We have to sit around a little bit longer. And again, the reason you don't want to win here is because you want to go into the next fight at 30 life. Wait, what happened to my Victor? Oh, it got recalled. I'm stupid. Let's replay him then. And this was the second part of the text on the card. And block, block. We have 7 more turns, so let's silence this guy. Give our Victor a spell shield again. And go for another Hexcore upgrade. And this is one of the big problems I have with the game mode. You just have to like sit around, not win, because you still have to heal up. And that's not really that fun for me. Okay, end up milling my opponents more often. Here we have the Fangs. And actually end up killing them by damage, because you just never want to end a fight at below 30 life. Scout again. Okay, Dragon's Protection. Care about that. We have the Fangs, which gives us nothing really helpful.
I've been waiting for this.
And yeah, let's just lock.
This isn't part of the training.
Just block everything. Now it doesn't matter anymore. And we have just won the bot game anyways, so now we can just like not waste any more time. Look for our lifesteal, life gain cards, and this will be 6 life. Because this will be copied twice. Now tick doesn't matter anymore. Now the Resonating Strike on our lifesteal guy. And I don't have any more stuns, so we can just end the game here, I think. Yes. Now we are back at 30. That's basically what you have to do each time to win. As for our next one, Emerald Awakener is just great here. Comes with a draw effect, so pretty nice. The Lunar Duskbringer would not be very good, just a 1 mana 3/2. Roe Cannon just gives you random 1/1s that get killed by Ezreal. This would be the right choice either. Emerald Awakener, just a 3 mana 6/6, draws you a card. Very good choice here for us. And the healer doesn't do anything, you can just leave and see here, this will always be a power. You usually always want to go down the bottom route in the Karma counter. For the Silent Shadowseer, it's a pretty easy encounter. It has this big spell shield guy that can grow out of control. But usually it's not a big problem. You have the decent late game setup. Okay, Silent Shadowseer, next encounter. And I'm going to keep Victor. This one's a little bit slower, so you can take your time building up your champions. Don't really have a good answer for the Silent Shadowseers themselves, but they are probably oftentimes pretty stupid about them and just run them out randomly. We can get the challenger unit from the tanks, and this is a little bit of a problem. It's just hitting us over and over, but we still have a better late game. Let's make them just use the Mystic Shot. They just draw both. A little bit annoying. That's annoying. Draw our Aurelian Soul, so we can't easily level. That's really annoying. Like, why didn't we draw any of our early game? Go for the second lookout. Run this out. That's fine.
Courage masks the heart from fear.
And no need to play this out. Yeah, next turn I was just run at the tanks, try to find a silence here. Already start getting buffed up, it's not very helpful. This is like the first time they've seen them have both in their hand. And here comes the silence. Shadow Fiend doesn't really matter. Let's get rid of this guy. Other Shadow Fiend is a little more annoying. They just have all of the early game, they're really that aggressive, but it doesn't matter. And we will just take out some units. Use our Radiant Soul costs, take some damage in the way. But again, just have to heal up afterwards, doesn't really matter. This is the best approach to beating it reliably, even if you take some damage, doesn't matter. Shrug it off, move on to the next thing that happens, and we'll just only run a Victor. And this is fine. So this will just die at the end of the turn, so it's what I mean with the eye, just running out the ephemerals randomly. And now they just are dead. And we might have the big guy, the double strike guy in the hand. Again, it doesn't matter if as long as we got 2 to 9, we just win. Okay, so no double strike guy. Let's just play out our cheap unit then. Block the 7-4. And damage is irrelevant, so we can just take 6 more. Now we can continue building up a Victor and just eventually heal back up to full. This gives me quick attack. I'm going to save this for my Lee Sin because it doubles. And let's just run at Lee Sin first, make sure we don't die to some random stuff. Okay, they just have these weird interaction spells that don't do anything against the champions. Yep. We have no way to... Don't know, the AI doesn't know how to use this. So now let's just buff up both our champions. Oh, interesting, this buffs it up double. I thought it was like... And this levels up Victor, I think. Not yet. That's because of Lay. And I'm going to inflict a little bit of damage so I can end the game if I have to. Usually you don't actually have to end the game. We have 13 more turns to heal back our life total. Should be pretty easy for cost reduced. Cost reduced, Aurelian Soul. Score upgrade, calming down. And again we just hope for the lifesteal. And impact again. Unfortunate, but doesn't really matter in the end. Not going to run out my tanks yet because this power, runs power allows us to stack up our buffs and the fangs. They're lucky. So go for the upgrade. Upgrade gives us a fated. This levels up Lee Sin.
The dragon spirit awakens.
And again, don't just win, don't just go here for you have won the game. Instead, we have to look for lifesteal. Living Legends is a very good card to have with Aurelian Soul. And they can do whatever they want over there. Like, we just don't care. We don't attack, we just have 1-2 lifesteal here.
The constellations bow to me.
And this is, in my experience, the optimal way to play Power of Champions. Just sit around, do nothing, and wait until you always end the fight at 30 life. Isn't that interesting, in my opinion, but it's just what wins, and if I want to be educational, I have to show you what wins. Tanks comes down and gives us Equinox, I guess. Now we can just... It doesn't really matter what we block with here, but one Shadow Shift comes out. Let's go for all of the different graded cards here.
Today you are King Ku.
Just want to empty out our hand for our Living Legends. This is also if you like doing the quests, this is also the best way to do the quest. Just have a Radiant Soul on the board, cast all of your spells. This is how you always fulfill the quest on the turn comes out. 4. Let's go for another Living Legends. And the first Living Legends. Moon, silver on our actual cards. Supernova takes out those two.
Yes, of course.
And we can play our
Another brilliant
Moonglow, buffing up our... This guy can't do anything. So we have enough cards in our deck. Just spend our mana here, burn off the other cards. There's our second star shaping. And a Great Beyond. Might just fast forward these parts actually. This is probably not very interesting to watch. Then we just let these ephemerals go. Now we just buff up our bangs to win.
Now they'll pay attention. Metal is perfection.
Comes Elusive from Victor, still no lifesteal. That's fine. Now we just play all of our cards out. Predict doesn't really matter here.
Genius in action.
And you want to make sure to always attack on the left side with these cards that have lifesteal, because otherwise it doesn't actually do anything. But now it's a little bit BM, now we can stop this attack and kill them.
Center your spin.
Finally how the Sorcerer didn't get any of the challenger. And 20 life, back up to 30, and that's always how we have to approach these. Don't ever want to just be at 11 life after an encounter or 2. You won't get the speed rating, but basically speed rating is just impossible. Anyways, if you don't actually go for it with this one. The Rockfall path is interesting. Countdown 1 obliterate the weakest enemy. Doesn't really do anything against Ezreal, so I don't really like it. It is a cheap card. Rights Protector, Barrier, Speed Reps. I think this is just a... this is fine, but it's... Here's a random guy for 2 mana. Oh, let's take it. Want to see Cave my Heroes for like powers and stuff. And here, game start, summon 2 Vanguard Lookouts. Cards you draw cost 1 less. When you summon an ally, granted Fury. All of those are not very good. But I have to, like this is the run of the Lookouts. I have to take the Lookouts because in commemoration of our channel, who hopefully will live on, let's take the Lookouts on our Power of Champions run, even if it's not the best one. Puffka Peddler gives us a revive, and why not? Let's just play it safe, and no reason to heal. And let's go into Karma. The hardest part about Karma, and I'm serious about this, the hardest part about Karma is remembering you play against Karma. Like, so often when I just play on my phone, I'm just like, oh, I'm just going to mulligan for 1 drops, and then I'm like, oh, this is Karma. And we'll see how we can approach this. Let's just mulligan everything, because we want to just find our Radiant Soul, obviously. Karma can recall, otherwise she can't do that much. Get our Lookouts, And don't just want to run out our Aurelion Soul,
Peace begins within.
otherwise they will recall Aurelion Soul over and over.
Where
So we
there
just
is
pass
life,
here first.
there
They are
is
programmed to always play out armor. And now we will pass again. Now they will play another card. Now they can't recall anymore. They can't cancel recall. Now we just attack with our lookout. Basically always making the AI move. Now the AI goes for like spells and then we can run out Aurelion Soul. Because can't really do anything against it anymore. There's the recall next turn, but at this point then we already have Living Legends in hand.
The heavens
Choice.
diminish without my attention.
Now they need to have the recall in hand or they just lose immediately. Let's see if they have it.
They'll pay attention.
Doesn't look like a recall. Me.
Or does that?
Let's stay a little bit safe and play our lifesteal guy here.
Path is clear.
And that's 11, so we need to like play out the other guy. Level up our Aurelion Soul.
Take a stance and hold it.
Yeah, Karma buffing up doesn't really matter. But it just gives health buffs.
A
Fine.
clear mind.
We're clearly doing the better late game
strength.
here. And let's just run out the lifesteal guy. And Retro is nice.
Ours is the will of Ionia.
And 1 mana, they can do nothing.
Find
Let's just
enlightenment.
take the
Sound the alarm.
obvious blocks. Life total doesn't really matter here. So we can just block however.
Very important.
And now we have won the game on turn 1. Aurelion Soul levels up.
The constellations bow to me.
Now you just want to really show your opponent that you can absolutely destroy them by going for the overpowered cards.
How they stare.
Scourge first, and then we just like let them do their thing. Now we want to make sure to spend our mana.
Force is meaningless without skill.
Use our star shaping on a unit so it gets doubled. Gives us 2 invokes, Living Legends, and Living Legends. We just win this turn, basically, is what this means. Now we don't have any more mana, so we just go for you first. And if you have Aurelion Soul on the board, Living Legends actually refills your mana with costing 0. So you can just go for all of the other stuff here. Start with Meteor Shower. I'm not going to do the math here of when it's exactly correct to kill them. I'm just going to play out my cards and kill them. Seems like an easy approach.
What once was two,
So let's
now
just
is one.
fast forward through all of this stuff that's happening. And get our level ups.
As humanity ebbs, the machines rise. Join the glorious evolution. Another
Yeah.
brilliant design.
And again, these late game champions make it really easy to beat Karma. Like, I've never really had a big problem against Karma. Let's see how we actually can overkill them. Now they finally go for the Aurora Borealis. Had enough. This is an AI. I don't feel bad for torturing it.
As the dragon wills.
Let's take this as an excuse for all of the things the AI has done to you. I'm just going to fast forward at this point.
Metal is perfection.
I'll probably just kill them now. Like, but it's so fun to like overkill. Like, I can see why this mode is like fun for people. Override Victor laughing annoys me. No.
May all those who journey find what they seek.
Like, this is actually fun. Like I fully understand how people like this mode. It's a little bit easy, but it's fun to do. Path. Messenger. Star shaping. Alright, descend. Skies descend. This is totally overkill, but why not? How big can we go? That's the question. Double silence. This is so much fun. Like I want to stop, I want to just win, but this is so much fun. And we actually misplayed here. We could have done more damage if we played the Scourge last. So yeah, Cosmic Inspiration. And let's see how much damage we deal. Minus 176 damage. Pretty nice, pretty nice. And this is how you beat Karma. This is how you should approach this every time, even if you don't hit Aurelion Soul. Just try to do some insane stuff late game, some insane super champions. You won't always hit Aurelion Soul, but you will probably, like, I would say in 90% of cases there's something insane for you to do in the later stages. So now we have to take our deck home, and I'm actually going to go for the Researcher here. Don't have any Nightfall cards to behold, and this just randomly dies and dies to Mystic Shot, and the Ezreal power, the Android is elusive, but just like I'm probably this clocks up our hand. Maybe the Android is actually better. This is cheaper. Let's take the cheap card. And as our power, Dragon's Rage. Oh my god. Like, how can we not? This fight is annoying. This fight is also annoying. So the Fae Bladetwirler is just a random dude that has these stun abilities. Oh, that's just great. And usually shouldn't have a big problem against him unless you get these Bladetwirlers too big. But usually it's not annoying. The other fight is easier. This fight is just free, but I don't want this video to be 10 hours long. Important thing against Fae Bladetwirler is to not play any early game units, because then the stun doesn't activate and it deals 0 damage. The Rockfall Path is pretty good for the next 2 levels. And yeah, let's just keep this, and then another early game unit, double Rockfall Path is great. Oh, now we have... Oh, I forgot. How could I forget the lookouts?
I'm watching you.
No, he's watching me. What will I ever do? Being watched.
You'll thank me later.
You can see in the actual hand what card is buffed. And of course there's no point in hand tracking the AI. It would just be
Think you're
super try-harding. I don't think they attack in here, but they might.
I'll have a breakthrough.
So free Fae Bladetwirler. AI is really stupid. And 3 to an I strike an ally or deal 3 to the Nexus. I'm just going to open attack. This will remove this small guy from the board, and then play the Rockfall Path afterwards to kill the smallest unit. Advances by 1.
Act natural.
And this is a nice problem. The Bladetwirler actually draws a lot of cards, so if you take damage, and you might not have the time to regenerate, so it's better to just not take damage. And we just have so much lifesteal here now. Pass for now, see what they do.
Stay safe.
I don't really care about that. Let's get our Victor going. And Hexcore upgrade afterwards. Take some learn damage, but we have lifesteal and life gain. Fury comes out of this.
Strike.
And here comes the Hexcore upgrade again. Looking up our Victor. You just want to start with your smallest minor play that the AI has to act first, that you clearly see what you have to go up against.
No suffering, so we may end it.
And
Don't let the fluffy tails fool you.
Hyperburn. Always take out these guys. They will block. Yeah, it's probably true. You must always block unless it's really stupid. Let's just take out the good block. And then you have a star shaping for the others. And of course I'm not sorting it out randomly if I already have the win easily. So second dancing droplet. No. Can right click to remove that. And yeah, power up. Quick attack. And yeah, take some damage, doesn't really matter. Raw with our Emerald Awakener.
My path is clear.
Here comes Lee Sin. Start with the upgrade again. I have a bunch of stuns and stuff, so we can't just easily win. And do we want to prevent this? No, it's fine, I guess. We have the star shaping again. Yoni comes out. A little bit annoying, as Yoni usually is. So let's go for the Lee
Master
Sin.
yourself. Master your enemy.
And this will now double copy, but we have no other units to use it on, so let's just play our Rockfall Path. Save our spell for next turn. No elusive here so far. Stun again, which is annoying. At the end of the world, let's just go for Lifesteal Guy. And Lifesteal Guy gives us silence. And silence the droplet.
Face your fate.
It's just block, and for the health. Didn't do anything, did it? I somehow thought it would be like making him survive, but challenger level plays here. Masters level player playing. Silence the elusive. This is actually not castable anymore. The Sin level is up.
I fight with the dragon's fury.
Yeah, now we have full life total, we can do these small displays. You don't have to. It's also important to focus your attention on important stuff. So don't like actually struggling with this mode and then try to not think too much about random blocks or stuff you usually do well anyways. Instead, talking too much, let's just display instead. Let's just play our scales. And homecoming is annoying. That's why we play our cheapest unit first. This way we can still run out of the Sin again. And this fight always takes a little bit to resolve. Because they have like stuns and homecomings and stuff. Which is annoying, but doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things.
Give me a sweet bun. Heightens the senses.
And yeah,
Would you wish
no need to attack, they have like random guys. Or we just deck out at this point. Droplet. And we don't really have any very good plays here. Okay. I'm not going to mess around for 1 or 2 life. You can still easily win each counter with like 1 or 2 life. It never comes down to that.
Tenacity and trial.
My training is unconventional.
Oh, this was hiding. Take 2 damage from the droplet, they don't even attack us. Nice. Now we can... I guess Lee Sin is just faster to win, right? Like, play this, and I can't do anything. Building Legends, like I think this is just faster to win. be honest.
Think
Level
of
Iranian Soul up,
cute.
and
Wonder at my creation.
then you can make them play the spell, the Iranian Soul spell, Dragon's Descent, Sky's Descent.
Now who's got the upper hand?
Duration, they are not wider than us because they have unelusive, so we can just block, 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 block. And if they're at 2 life, we still win the game. Yeah, they just deck out, so we just do that.
Here's our chance.
And no need to play cards here. I don't want to waste your time unnecessarily. If you are at 30 anyways, let's just win because they have no more deck. And then our champions, if your opponent doesn't have any deck, we just win the game. And there was literally no reason to stall around other than waste everybody's time.
See you next time, Rune.
And again, if you you can get unlucky sometimes, but if you have some healing in the deck, you should never ever end, or potential healing, you should never ever end at less than 30. Okay, more healing, or the nab. I always like more healing, because if you heal, you can't die. This guy would just die to the Ezreal stuff. This guy would also die to mystic shots. Healing is really nice, and always go for the champion items. Minus cost maybe. No. That's probably just a real. These keywords don't really do anything. Don't want to be very attacking and stuff. You have the literal same keywords again. Thank you for real. Like what? Thank you, Riot, for this. Give me a real token back, please. Play a starter free attack. Doesn't seem terrible in our Radiant Soul. Let's take a random keyword on Victor instead. That was that. And these two fights are pretty similar, so let's just... you can click on the real token first, then it opens up the menus. We have another shop or the item. I'm just going to go for the item and... or these things. And yeah, Herald of Springs is next. Support group. That's a bunch of small units. I actually die to this one more often than to Ezreal, because I draft these very expensive, very late game heavy decks, and then you just get overrun. As you see, his deck is pretty weak overall, so just have to make sure you don't get overrun, don't just random die to a support chain. Star Shaping, Lee Sin, Fangs. I don't think we need these. I guess we keep the Fangs because of lifesteal. I don't think we need the rest. Again, Acid Researcher pretty strong here. 2-mana 3/3. Buff the Master needed in expeditions. Probably. I forgot about lookouts again. Sad. By the way, I have these lookouts as prismatics, so doesn't even matter. But they don't show up as prismatics yet. It's one of my suggestions recently that you should allow people like Raze like me to make their Half Champions cards prismatic. Didn't do that yet, so they have to live with our non-prismatic lookout. The best card in expeditions. Now it's also in Half of Champions, and they will do random keyword stuff here.
Is it adventure time, you guys? What do you say, Glow?
We just take the obvious blocks. So they have all have. Oh, that's actually a cool support chain. And that's what I mean with randomly dying to these guys. This is actually a grant ability. So they are permanently have lifesteal and stuff now. So you have to force them to block a little bit into not dying here. Let's go for the Fangs. No, that's actually bad. Okay, go for the Trickster, Elusive. And didn't do any champions afterwards. So,
Wakeify! I tried.
Wakefy.
Follow the tracks.
Yeah, this is a problem, like random support chain coming in. And just Elusives ruining the day as always. Usually they don't get these crazy starts, like they need literally everything. Alright, has this work. I hope I don't just die here. I'm going to play the Trickster for safety. Like, not sure what will happen with this support chain. Okay. Yeah, this is the real final boss fight, I guess. Like, this is such a meter counter. Either it does like literally nothing, or it just completely destroys you. So this is so like, it's either they draw Young Witch and you don't kill it, and they do this stuff, or they do nothing and just die. At least you've defeated Karma. That's like what? I'm just going to keep my spell mana here. You have to like. We didn't like draw any of our spells. Like this is all of our starting deck. A random card we started the game with. Like, no Sonic Waves, no Twin Disciplines. Luckily we have a revive, so we can try again. But what just happened here? I don't think we can do anything here.
Endure the dragon's fury.
Yeah. Mystic shot on our lookout, out of spite. AI doing AI things. Oh, we got our Manta as challenger. He's not that bad. Let's take out the young witch. And I don't know, move on with our revive because that was insane. Okay, so we die, but we actually get our revive, so we don't actually die. That was pretty random. Thank you for this emote. Reminds me of the old times. Rise again. And okay, try 2. Not really that big of a change in strategy. We just keep our environmental this time and make sure we take out the young witch. If we take out the young witch, like doesn't happen. Our lookouts again. Fix. Fine. Talk about lifesteal guy in case they go crazy again. No, they have the mystic shot, I forgot. I'm just actually going to. If I just challenge, they just mystic shot. Going to pass, maybe they play out a unit. But that's fine, and then they don't have that many units. Herald of Springs is fine. Big. I want to give them a better target than my snapper here to mystic shot, and then my challenger guy to mystic shot. I will be thinking, oh, this is a 5 attack guy, so I have to mystic shot it. Granted +1/+1, and it's supportless.
Sound the alarm! Won't pass these walls.
Block this.
Not on my watch.
This is already better because they don't have any interaction anymore. Lux emote coming in, out. Now we just want to make sure that they don't get elusive again. So for the Victor, basically have the death ray now. And yeah, have to try and take out some of these guys here. Attack with you, attack with you, take out, I don't really care about the lifesteal guy, let's take out the picks. And they block here so we can death ray. No, we don't block, what? Interesting. Now we can death ray still. And maybe we should have held the death ray for the young witch. Maybe that was a misplay again. This time it's already going much better. The eye doesn't really do that much crazy stuff. I think it would have played the young witch if it had it. Young witch. Oh. But we are very good at this game, so we just drew our second copy of the death ray. And yeah, just shut down the young witch and you don't have any problems. Flower child. It's fine. Just play our big guy.
Tenacity through trial.
You're so hungry.
Don't
Block.
test me.
Block. And again, this is the case where the AI doesn't do anything. Oh. And we get lifesteal, so over again. Okay. No Fae is angry at me. Nice. Now we can for the win. Notice that I never really care about winning soon or later. I can just win eventually and just reliably. This is more what I'm going for.
How it's done.
This was a little bit risky. Don't draw a young witch, please. Okay, draw a young witch, please. Bye. Yeah, this is where the AI just runs out of cards and does nothing.
Won't pass these walls.
You know what? Let's just keep our no animations. Keep our Victor alive. Our lookouts alive. They are valuable members of our society. Even if right, less expedition die, I won't let our lookout die. So publish or perish. Victor is a very, very rude boss on a post office or a time news office. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Like, this is a new theory. Victor is just like a boss of a post office, and just always reads his own articles and
I knew, and now I am.
and yeah, get our random buffs going and attack.
Hey, you there!
Legacy of Lookout will live on. And yeah, no reason to stall, we are at 30, so this is one of these cases where it's just an easy victory. This should just be the not doing the math. Math is doing overrated in Path of Champions. More about generous strategizing than about math. Okay, and Mizu got high roll runs, can lose, but have good ways to win, and now Ezreal is just a free win, as you will see. I find this stage a little bit weird on this level, because Thunder costs 3 less. And here, support, start of the game draw me is good, and -1 cost is bad because of the lifesteal. And leave. And ability name Ezreal. As you see with Ezreal, he doesn't actually have any spells in his deck. The main problem with Ezreal is his ability, his power, and get the power under control, then it will be easy. 2-drop, Victor is good, Star Shaping is okay. Eye of the Dragon is kinda meh. And it's a 3-drop. We can find it better. So I was just about to say, it's important to not play any units in the early game, but then a lookouts appeared. You know, like, this is not the best tower, it was not the best choice, but it was the choice I had to take. Generally, like, these hard champion runs should be like educational, of course. I want to show you how to win, but I don't want to do like super try hard and
Hope that's all right.
not have fun. I think it's also making it more enjoyable to
Study
watch.
and to practice.
This will make it die.
Sound
Let's
the
block with the
alarm.
lookout instead. And yeah, so scales into Victor, into buffed up Victor, and then we beat up Ezreal.
Tenacity and triumph.
And this is annoying. Let's just we attack with both units. They are always tempted to double block.
Now I've lost my place.
Yep. So that's how you get rid of elusives in Power of Champions, by just knowing the AI. Use our other guy, but that's fine. Most important thing is to not take too much random damage. Because if the game goes late, we always win. The Android is fine for our Victor.
Without pause, their treat will be doomed.
And the Ezreal power only levels when he is actually played. So if the AI has better things to do than play the Ezreal out, then he just never does anything. And this is a little bit scary if they have there, but we have this left over. Let's just go for it. This will be the... No! I missed... No! It's fine. It would have still be copied on this one. Yes. Here's the part I was talking about. Now we can go for the Discipline of Fortitude.
I've licked my wounds too long.
Oh boy, God.
Random animations happening. And this is the biggest Wenger lookout ever to live.
I'm watching you.
This is a no-fly zone.
Five, 7. I rate this victor 5 out of 7.
Check me out.
And yeah, this is a little bit annoying. They have like these elusives that are hitting me, but I'm not that concerned by that. Let's actually focus for a little bit. Think about how we can close this one out. If I upgrade first, maybe with elusive.
A masterpiece.
This guy's getting annoying. No impact again.
How can
Fortunate. And can play them out.
The dragon spirit awakens.
And necessary actually have to focus a little bit because we didn't roll lifesteal yet. We are taking a little bit of damage. Come on!
progress?
Why are you gonna be like this next Ezreal? Mystic shot next is try hard.
Gotcha.
Doesn't Mystic shot the fleeting next to fleeting card. It's important to bait out the two-shot barrage before actually going for the lifesteal units. Scout is good.
Unleash
And now we can play our lifesteal units.
Third shot's the charm.
Problem is if they have like another gotcha, kinda die. Let's just do the Scout attack then first. We can't really bait out the gotcha, can we? Ah, that's actually a tricky spot to be in. See how they react to the Scout attack. I think we don't have to hope they don't have the second gotcha. What? What? AI is trolling me. AI, why do you have to be trolling me so hard?
Center your spirit.
How do we win? What? I had way too much fun with this run to actually forgot to win. This has to be part of the winning. See if this goes through first. If you die, that's perfect.
No way.
It's not exactly legal, but it is.
Now what we do is we sacrifice our lookout for the greater good. Get more death rays into our deck. Also more victors. And then we go for the deep meditation, gaining us 5 life.
Conflict is all in the mind.
How did we not hit a... I swear to God, if we not draw a death ray here, going to... What was this? Okay, at least we draw a death ray.
The power of progress.
We have to let this happen. Then play out the Awakener.
I knew, and now I am.
Okay, that's very nice. Assembly bot. And block so far. Pass.
It works! Mostly.
This is not good. We have to hope that they mess up with the attack. Let's see if they do. Yes, perfect.
I will
We're fine. We are fine. Thank God. You go on you. And then Indisciplines you. Back to 7. Ooh, nail biter run. Just like the last one. I've steal. Come on, Victor. Victor's trolling me.
Don't
Like,
worry. I've read all about
no
this.
lifesteal ever, no challenger. Here, once again, you have to bait out the two-shot barrage. And
You'll soon
that makes them
understand
play it
my
first, then you can
ethics.
play our lifesteal. Okay. Now I feel pretty safe that we won.
My sweet bun.
Let's wait one more action. Don't have any direct damage in the deck. Still no lifesteal. Annoying. Okay. I like how the AI just like showed me that it could have killed me. And that's very funny. Stun is really good for Ezreal. Now what we can do is give everything challenger. Really matter what we took here. No! No! Why did I pick the lifesteal card? No! Oh, this is hilarious. And it's fine. Now we do you. Oh, you not you. You. And you. And if they top deck the gotcha. Please no gotcha. Let's take out.
My lands need. Prepare yourself.
No gotcha.
You're disrupting my research.
No! 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 What is this? They top decked the gotcha. Oh my god, this is hilarious. How do we not hit any overwhelm or stuff like that? How is it possible? Not hit overwhelm any of these. Oh my. This is so hilarious.
So long, City of Progress.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I literally never had such a close Ezreal fight. Probably I just have too much fun. So let's stun you and block 4, 5. I don't die. And we Block.
I will not hold back.
Death Ray. 2. No spells in that hand. Oh my god, this is so close. Fearsome. Should we kill it? Just for fun. Should we kill it? Oh, actually dead to Victor as well. Nice. No cards in hand, so we are victorious. Was pretty easy. Okay, I'm stopping to do bad jokes now. So, never even close. Use this to activate our Leeson. Dragon Kick.
Center your spirit.
And GG. That's how you beat. That's how you beat Ezreal. If you focus a little bit more, then you can actually do it with an S-grade. You could also like sit around and stall. If we had our lifesteal guys alive, like if we had this lifesteal guy going through. But here we have level 5 Leeson
Thank you.
beating Ezreal. Totally all on Leeson, not on the other champions. And yeah, that's going to do it for this run. Of course, the higher level you are, the easier it gets, but that would just be boring to watch. We'll just go back with a 2020 Lulu or something, that wouldn't be helpful to anybody. And yeah, the lifesteal really helped us in this trial. Get our level up for Leeson. Got for a common relic and got the cards now. It's pretty good because Leeson's cards are pretty terrible. Okay, see you in the next Power Champions run if we do another one.